Hare Krishna.
Śrī Rādhā Bihari Ju ki jai. Śrī Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shitara Shita Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Śrīla Gurudev ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shitara Shita Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shitara Shita Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalila Vishtam Vishnupara Shitara Shita Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Vishtam Vishnupara Shitara Shita Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalila Vishtam Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Vishwa Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nityalila Vishwa Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Śrī Rūpānu Puriya Guru Varga ki jai. Śrī Rūpa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Śrī Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath Shāra Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Śrī Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Śrī Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradakta Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Śrī Rādhā-Kṛṣṇa Shyama Kunda ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Kunda Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Śrī Rādhā-Kṛṣṇa-gaṇoddeśa-dīpikā ki jai. Jai Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Pāda ki jai. Sarva Vrajavasi Gana ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. The Adivastiti of Janmashtami Mahotsav ki jai. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Let's do the Mangala Charan. Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya devi tvam nayamam charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshaya kshiptastakama ditaranga madhe kripa mai tvam sharanam prapana Vrinde namaste charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, and let's see who else is there. Let's say Shri Mataji, Haribol, and Ganga Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. And oh, wait, I see a bunch of people there. Right. I see a bunch of people there on YouTube and Facebook. So pranams everybody. If you write a comment, then I'll see who you are. Right now, I just see a number. All right. So we are continuing our reading of Śrī Rādhā-Kṛṣṇa-gaṇoddeśa-dīpikā by Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī. This is from the Hindi edition, translated from the Hindi edition of my Śrīla Gurudev Nityalila Pravishya Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Yesterday, let's have a short recap of what we read yesterday. Just opening it up. Where is it? All right. Yeah, so yesterday was all about the sakhas, wasn't it? Okay, so let's just go over also the whole book really quickly. So the Rādhā-Kṛṣṇa-gaṇoddeśa-dīpikā is divided into two parts. There's the Brihad Bhag. There's the Brihad Bhag, and then there is the Lagu Bhag. So Brihad Bhag means the big section. Lagu Bhag is the small section. So in the Brihad Bhag, there is first a description of Krishna's family, which was divided into three parts. There were the herdsmen, the brahmanas, and the herdsmen, the brahmanas, the brahmanas and the craftsmen. Wait, she wants me to pet her, so she's being all aggressive. Oh yeah, so and then the craftsmen, herdsmen, Brahmins, craftsmen, and then after that was a description of Sri Krishna's family members, like his there's a description of everybody in Vatsalya Ras. So it begins with his grandparents and then his parents and his aunts, uncles, and all the people who are like his grandmother and grandfather, and and then there's a description of Yuta. That was a very long section. It went through all the different groups of gopis. So the Ashtasakis. Well, no, wait. First, it was divided into two groups. There was the Varishtasakis, which were the Ashtasakis, and then the Varasakis, which was Ananga Manjari is the eighth one of that. But they were the exalted Sakis. So it's the most exalted, and then the exalted Sakis. And then it went through the exalted Sakis, Lalita, all the Ashtasakis, and it gave a brief description of their forms, their ages, their mother and father, a little bit about their nature, the clothes that they wore, all those details. And then after that, what was after that? Let me just look really quick. Then it described the activities of all the Ashtasakis. So like all the details of their services that they performed. That was very interesting. And then after that was various characters of Sakis. And it went through all the Sakis who arranged Krishna's loving quarrels. And those were, and then They all had very sharp tongues. And then we went through a description of the messengers, the duties. And so then the duties, it described two groups of messengers. There is a group of messengers who arranged the loving quarrels, and those were all they were all elderly ladies, interestingly. And then there is the group of messengers who arrange meetings, and it went through all of them. And then we read about the Ashtasakis of the Ashtasakis. So Srimati Radhika, she has her 8 sakis, right? Lalita Vishaka, Champakalata, Chitra, Sudevi, Rangadevi, no, Induleka, Sudevi, Rangadevi. And then each one of those Ashtasakis, they have their own Ashtasakis. And so we went through all of them. And then it describes the names of the Ashtasakis in the Sammohan Tantra. They had different names. So then that was the end of the Brihad Bhag. And then we just began the Laghu Bhag. First, it started off with a description of Krishna's beautiful form, his qualities, sweetnesses, and all that. And then we read about all of Krishna's friends, all of his sakas. So Krishna sakas are divided into 4 groups. There are the Suhrit sakas, the Priya sakas. The Suhrit sakas, the sakas, the Priya sakas, and the Priya Narma sakas. And it only described from the Suhrit sakas, I can't remember, it described. Let's just look at it actually. Let me open up the. Oh, and Haribo, Manjari Didi, and Satya Mataji. Hare Krishna. All right. Just sharing my screen. Okay, so the Suhrit sakas. So Shri Krishna's paternal cousins, Subhadra, Kundala, Dandi, and Mandala, as well as Sunanda, Nandi, Anandi, and other Suhrit sakas accompany him when he goes to the forest. Then Subhadra, Mandali Bhadra, Bhadra Vardhan, Gobhata. I'm going to skip some of the names. But yeah, and other Suhrit sakas are older than Shri Krishna, and they are engaged in protecting him. Because Shri Nanda and Yashoda were terrified of wicked Kamsa, they appointed the aforementioned Suhrit sakas, beginning with Shubhada, to protect their sons Shri Krishna and Shri Balaram, who are more dear to them than millions of their own lives. Vijayaksha, the son of Ambika, is the leader of all the Suhrit sakas. Ambika, Shri Krishna's wet nurse, receives her jewel-like son as a result of her constant worship of Ambika Devi, Parvati. And then there's description of Subhadra, the Suhrit saka Subhadra. Subhadra is effulgent due to his highly beautiful bodily luster and bluish complexion. He wears yellow garments and is ornamented with many kinds of decorations. We've read about quite a few associates of Krishna who have bluish, bluish complexion and wear yellow garments. It's interesting. Subhadra's father is Upananda. Okay, so it's his elder cousin, right? Subhadra is Krishna's elder cousin. So Subhadra's father is Upananda, and his highly chaste mother is Tula. Subhadra is in his illustrious prime youth. His wife's name is Kundalata. So now we know something about Kundalata's husband, Subhadra. Okay, so that was the Suhrit sakas. Now we come to the sakas. Vishala, Vrishabha, Ojasvi, Devaprastha, Varutapa, Mandara, Kusumapira, Manibanda, Karandama, Mandara, Chandana, Kunda, Kalinda, Kulika, and other sakas are younger than Shri Krishna, and they are very enthusiastic in serving him. Okay, so the sakas are younger than Krishna. Now, the Priya Sakas. Śrī Dhamma, Dhamma, Sudama, Vasudama, Kinkini, Bhadrasena, Angshuman, Stoko Krishna, Vilasi, Pundarika, Vitankaksha, Kalambika, and Priyankar. They are Sri Krishna's Priya Sakas. These Sakas are of the same age as Sri Krishna. Out of them, Śrī Dhamma is a Pita Marda. If I remember correctly, Pita Marda means somebody who's just as qualified as Krishna, but still takes Krishna's orders. Let's see if that is right. So the Pita Marda is an assistant who follows the Nayak's orders, even though he is as qualified as the Nayak himself. Yes. Okay. My God, what's up with Shamali? She's not very peaceful. Here, 1 second. Okay, so now among all these Priya Sakas, Bhadrasena is the commander of the army consisting of Sri Krishna's friends. Stoka Krishna has a suitable name, for he is small. He is Stoka, like Krishna. Stoka Krishna. So I guess that means small Krishna. He is always following under the guidance of Sri Krishna. And do I remember correctly, was Stoka Krishna the brother of Hiranyangi? That's what I remember. Yeah. We can double check. Anyhow, let's just continue on. Oh yeah, and I already saw Satyamataji, Ananta Omji, Hare Krishna. Okay, so the Priya Sakas greatly please Sri Krishna through various types of playful pastimes and by different kinds of sports, scuffles, brawls, wrestling, and stick fights. All the Priya Sakas are peaceful by nature, and they are Sri Krishna's life and soul. So the first of the Priya Sakas is Śrī Dhamma. Śrī Dhamma has an attractive blackish blue bodily complexion. He wears yellow clothes. He has a sham complexion, and he wears yellow clothes and is decorated with jeweled necklaces. He is in his illustrious youth of 16 years. I messed up saying that yesterday as well. Wow, so he's 16 years old, quite old for all the sakas. He is very dear to Sri Krishna and is an embodiment of innumerable varieties of blissful pastimes. Śrī Dhamma's father is Sri Vrishabhanu Maharaj, and his mother, who is extremely chaste, is Kirtida Devi. Śrī Rādhā and Ananga Manjari are his two younger sisters. Now we come to Sudama. Sudama has a supremely attractive bodily luster, which is slightly fair. He wears blue garments and is decorated with jeweled ornaments. Sudama's father is Matuka, and his mother is Rochana. He is beautified by his handsome youth and attire, and he is a mine of various blissful sports. Okay, so it just explains two Priya Sakas. And now we come to the Priya Narma Sakas. And the speciality of these sakas is that they're very much involved. I mean, one of the main specialities of these sakas is they're very much involved with Krishna's, his, what would you say, his amorous pastimes. Like there's nothing that they don't know about Krishna's his pastimes with the gopis. So Subal, that's what it explained. Subal, Arjuna, Gandharva, Vasanta, Ujjvala, Kokil, Sanandana, Vidagdha, and other sakas are as famous as the Priya Narma sakas. They are famous as Priya Narma sakas. Let's reread those names. I want to memorize these. Subal, Arjuna, Gandharva, Vasanta, Ujjvala, Kokila, Sanandana, and Vidagdha. and other sakas. They are famous as the Priyanama sakas. There are no confidential topics whatsoever about which these Priyanama sakas do not know. Of the Priyanama sakas, Madhumangal, Pushpanka, Hasanka, and others are Sri Krishna's Vidushakas. And Vidushakas are kind of like their jokesters. Let's see, before I look at the footnote, I want to see if I can remember. What was the first one? They love to eat and fight. They love to eat and fight. They're expert at flirtatious gestures. What was another quality? They can dress really fun. They dress very funnily. They're like a funny way of dressing. Let's see what it says. Okay, so the Vidushakas are fond of eating and quarreling. They are expert in flirtatious gestures and in clever speech. And they are talented in dressing themselves up in a funny manner. So that's Madhumangal and Pushpanka, Hasanka, and others. Sriman Sanandana is drowned in the happiness of his affectionate relationship with Sri Krishna. The Priyanarmasaka, called Ujjvala, is as greatly effulgent, Ujjvala, as Rasaraj personified, the king of transcendental mellows. Even Sri Krishna, who is the crown jewel of all revelers of pastimes, becomes enchanted by his pastimes, by Ujjvala's pastimes. And now we come to Subal. And yeah, I think out of all the sakas that I hear about, Subal always seems to be the most prominent. Haribol Krishnamaya Didi. Subal is fair complexioned. And we hear many times that how Subal is identical to Srimati Radhika. I think it's interesting how Sridham, Srimati Radhika's elder brother, who's 16 years old, he has a darkish, he's like a sham complexion. And I don't know, it sounds like he doesn't resemble Srimati Radhika so much, at least his complexion doesn't. But Subal very much resembles Srimati Radhika's. He is supremely enchanting with his blue attire and his body decorated with various jewels and flowers. He is in the blooming youth of 12.5 years. He is immersed in serving Sri Krishna in various ways as his friend. He is most expert in arranging meetings between Śrī Rādhā and Sri Krishna. He is absorbed in madhur bhav, in amorous love. There's a footnote here. So Subal is assisting Sri Krishna in his intimate amorous pastimes with Srimati Radhika. So he's absorbed in that madhur bhav, amorous love, and he is endowed by various good qualities which bring joy to Sri Krishna. Subal is extremely dear to Sri Krishna due to all these reasons. Now, Arjuna. Arjuna's bodily complexion is exceedingly effulgent, like that of a red lotus, and his clothes resemble moonlight. He is beautified by various jewels. Arjuna's father is Sudakshina, and his mother is Bhadra. His elder brother's name is Vasudama. Both of them are immersed in love for the divine couple. Arjuna is supremely radiant in his youth of 14.5 years. He is decorated by various types of flower ornaments and garlands made of forest flowers. Now we come to Gandharva. The highly attractive Gandharva has a bodily luster which resembles that of a moon. He wears red clothes and is decorated by innumerable types of ornaments. It seems like Gandharva and Arjuna have they're opposite. I'm talking about their skin color and clothes. Like Arjuna's complexion is like a red lotus, and he wears clothes that resemble moonlight. And then the opposite of that is Gandharva, who has a bodily luster that resembles the moon, and he wears red clothes. And he is decorated by innumerable types of ornaments. Gandharva is 12 years old and in his blooming youth. He is extremely radiant, being decorated with many kinds of flower garlands. Gandharva's mother is Mitra. So Gandharva's mother Mitra is extremely chaste, and his father is the great soul Vinaka. Gandharva is most dear to Sri Krishna, and is famous for his various amazing pastimes. And now Vasanta. Vasanta is slightly fair-complexioned, and his attire is as radiant as the moon. All his limbs are exceedingly bright because he is decorated with many types of jewels and flower garlands. He is 11 years old, so it seems like the youngest of all the Priyanamasakas. His mother, Sharadi, is very chaste, and his father is the great soul Pingala. Now we come to Ujjvala. Ujjvala's complexion is greatly bright, like radiant red color, and his clothes resemble rows of stars. He is beautified by mukta flowers. Ujjvala's father's name is Sagar, and his mother, who is very chaste, is called Veni. Ujjvala is in his radiant youth of 13 years. And now we come to Kokila. The extremely radiant and charming Kokila has a bright whitish bodily complexion. He wears blue clothes and is ornamented by various types of jewels. Kokil is 11 years old and 4 months old. Okay, so he is the young. Well, I don't know. No, second youngest. He's 4 months older. His father is Pushkar and his celebrated mother is Medha. And then Sanandana. The exceedingly beautiful Sanandana has a slightly fair bodily luster. He wears blue clothes and is decorated by various kinds of ornaments. Sanandana is 14 and a half years old. He wears a garland around his neck, and his father's name is Arunaksha, and his mother's is Malika. Now, Vidagdha. Vidagdha's complexion is attractive and greatly effulgent, like that of a champak flower. And he wears clothes that are blackish blue, like the throat of a peacock. He is decorated by many types of pearl necklaces. Vidagdha is 14 years old and in the prime of his youth. His father's name is Matuka, and his mother is Rochana. The previously mentioned Sudama is his elder brother, and his sister is Sushila. Sushila, sorry. Vidagdha is exceedingly dear to Śrī Krishna and is always immersed in his love for the divine couple. So Vidagdha's older brother is Sudama. Okay. And now we come to Madhu Mangal. Madhu Mangal's complexion is somewhat blackish blue. Yeah, Madhu Mangal's complexion is somewhat blackish blue. His clothes are of a golden color, and he is decorated with garlands made of forest flowers. Madhu Mangal's father is Sri Sandipani Rishi, and his chaste mother's name is Sumukhi. Nandimukhi is his sister. We're going to be reading about Nandimukhi today also. So Nandimukhi is Madhu Mangal's sister, and his paternal grandmother is Purnamasi. Madhu Mangal, who also belongs to the Vidushakas, he always accompanies Śrī Krishna. And now we come to Śrī Balaram. Yeah, and it's interesting. In this book, it's putting Śrī Balaram in the section of Priyanamasakas. So I think you could call Balaram a Priyanamasaka. I've just never heard him referred to that, like referred in that way before. So Śrī Balaram's complexion is whitish, like that of crystal or camphor. His name is Balaram because he is extremely strong. Bala means strength. He wears blue garments. And Ram means that he delights everybody, right? Yeah. So he wears blue garments and is decorated with many kinds of garlands made of forest flowers. Śrī Balaram's long and beautiful hair is extremely charming, and he wears an enchanting top knot. Oh wait, the rain's a bit too intense. Okay, I think the noise suppression is quite shutting off. Yeah, all right. All right, so
Sri Balaram's long and beautiful hair is extremely charming, and he wears an enchanting top knot, just like Krishna. Jeweled kundalas hang from his ears. Garlands made of many kinds of flowers and jeweled necklaces hang beautifully from Sri Balaram's neck. Armlets and bracelets decorate his arms. Jeweled ankle bells beautify Sri Balaram's feet. His father is Sri Vasudev, and his mother is Sri Rohini. Sri Balaram's father Vasudev is the friend of the king of Raj, Nanda Maharaj, and his highly chaste mother Rohini is Yashoda's friend. Sri Krishna is his younger brother, and Subhadra is his sister. Sri Balaram is radiant in his youth of 16 years. He is very dear to Sri Krishna and is a mine of various ecstatic pastimes. Okay, now we come, so that's where we read up to yesterday. And now we're continuing on, reading about the servants. I'll read the Sanskrit from this point on. Let's just get an overview of what we're reading. So we're going to read about the servants called Vita, the servants called Cheta, the servants who prepare betel nuts, the servants who supply water, servants who wash Sri Krishna's clothes, servants who decorate Sri Krishna, servants who prepare fragrant substances, and servants who act as hairdressers, servants who are engaged in various other tasks. And then we'll read about the maidservants. The maidservants are appointed in many different services. There are the spies, the messengers, and Krishna's female messengers, Purnamasi, Vira, Brinda, Nandimukhi, Madhumangal's sister. She's one of Krishna's messengers, interestingly. Then ordinary servants. Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping I think we'll make it up to there. I'm not sure though. All right, so the servants called Vita. Kadara Bharati Banda Gandaveda Dayo Vita Vividha Sevakastasya Seva Sokya Parayana. Shri Krishna has many different groups of servants, all who are all absorbed in pleasing him through their service. Out of them, Kadara, Bharati Banda, Gandaveda, and other servants are called Vita. What does Vita mean? Vita is they are assistants talented in making dresses and other similar tasks. They are cunning. They are skilled in conversation. And they are experts in subjugating others and in other tasks. That's from Jaiva Dharma chapter 32. Now the servants called Cheta. Cheta Bangura Bringara Shandika Grahila Daya Raktaka Patraka Patri Madhukhanto Madhuvrata Shalika Staliko Mali Mana Mala Dharadaya Tadvenu Shringamurali Yashti Pasha Didharina Amisham Ghatakaschami Dhatunam Chapaharaka. Bhangura, Bringara, Shandika, Grahila, Raktaka, Patraka. We hear about Ratak and Patrak, right? Patri, Madhukhanta, Madhuvrat, Shalika, Talika, Mali, Mana, Maladhara, and others are Chetas. Where did we read about Raktak and Patrak? Is in the article Residence in Braj by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. He writes all these prayers to Raktak and Patrak. And yeah, there's a whole section about them in that article that we read recently. So they are all Chetas. They carry Shri Krishna's possessions such as his Venu, horn, Murali stick, and the rope when milking cows. Let's see the speciality of the Venu and Murali. What are the difference? So the Venu is a small flute that is 9 inches long, is as wide as one's thumb, and has 6 holes. So very portable and very, very sweet. Then the murali is a flute which is 36 inches long, has a mouthpiece at the end, and has 4 holes on its body. Ah, only 4 holes. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so they carry his possessions such as his venu, his murali, the rope used when milking cows. They present red ochre and other minerals to Sri Krishna. Okay, so those are the chetas. Now the servants who prepare betel nuts, the tambulika. Prittuka parshvaga keli, kalalapa kalankura, pallavo mangala pulla komala kapiladaya, suvilasa vilasakya, rasala rasashalina, jambula tambula parishkara vichakshana. Pallava, Mangala, Pula, Komala, Kapila, Suvilasa, Vilasa, Rasala, Rasashali, Jambula, Rasala, Ane, Tambula, Masala. And other servants, they're appointed in preparing Sri Krishna's tambul, Perona. Wow, that's a lot of servants just to prepare the tambul. Hey, I'm just, it says Jambula, Rasala, Ane, Tambula, Masal. I think we translated Rasala in the Gaudiya Giti Gutra not as Rasala, the tambula maker, but as, I think I'm going to have to fix that. Jambula, Rasala, Ane, Tambula, Masala. I think we translated as like full of rust or something like that. I don't know, I'll have to check that. But yeah, they are all skilled in preparing tambul by cleaning and wrapping it. They are all younger than Sri Krishna and always stay close to him. They are in the initial stage of learning the art of reciting Sri Krishna's pastimes, Lila Katha, and singing and playing musical instruments. I'm just curious why there's so many people who have to, like, who are Krishna's, I guess Krishna eats a lot of tambur. Okay, now the servants who supply water. Jal Sevaka. Payoda Varidadhyascha Nira Karina. Is Payoda, Varida, and other servants bring vessels filled with water for Sri Krishna's use. I think it's very interesting how there are so many servants with just one main service, and that's their everything. Like they're Payoda and Varida and other servants. They're just focused. They're always making sure that Krishna's hydrated and that Krishna has all the water that he needs. I guess the water for all sorts of, like many different things, I'm guessing, for bathing, I don't know. I'm just speculating, but yeah. Now there are servants who wash Sri Krishna's clothes, the Vastra Sevaka. There's a Jal Sevaka, now the Vastra Sevaka. Vastropachari Nipuna Saranga Bakula Daya. Saranga Bakula. Whoops. I almost read the translation. I mean, saying the translation. Okay, so Saranga, Bakula, and other servants are skilled in taking care of Sri Krishna's clothes by washing and decorating them. And now the servants who decorate, the Veshakarina. Prema Kando Mahaganda Sairindra Madhukandala Makaranda Dayaschami Sada Shringarakarina. Premakanda, Mahaganda, Sairindra, Madhukandala, Makaranda, and other servants decorate Sri Krishna. Isn't it amazing how we have all these details? We even know the names of Krishna's washermen, and those who supply water, those who, like every single little detail, we know the names of these personalities. Servants who prepare fragrant substances, Gandhika. Sumana Kusumolasa Pushpahasa Haradaya. Gandhanga Garagamalyadi Pushpalankritika Sumana Kusumolasa Pushpahasa Hara and other servants beautify Shri Krishna's body with ornaments such as aguru and kumkum. They decorate Shri Krishna with flower garlands and also prepare flower ornaments. Now, servants who act as hairdressers, the Napita. Napita Kesha Samskare Mardane Darpanarpane Daksha Subandha Karpura Sugandha Kusumadaya. Subandha, Karpura, Sugandha, Kusuma, and other servants are Shri Krishna's hairdressers. They are vastly skillful in services such as arranging his hair, massaging his body, and offering him a mirror for looking. Now, servants who are engaged in various other tasks, apara. Apara means the others. Koshadi Karina Swacha Sushila Pragunadaya Vimala Komala Dyascha Salipita Didharaka. Svacha, Sushila, Praguna, and other servants are engaged in taking care of the storerooms and performing other services. Vimala, Komala, and other servants take care of Shri Krishna's plate, seat, and other articles used at the time of eating. So those were all of Krishna's servants. Now we come to Krishna's maidservants, Paricharika. Dhanishta Chandana Kala Gunamala Rati Prabha Tarunindu Prabha Shobha Rambhadya Paricharika Grihamarjana Samskar. I think it's not divided the right. Grihamarjana Samskara Lepakshiradipo Vida. Tanishta, Chandanakala, Gunamala, Rati Prabha, Taruni, Indu Prabha, Shobha, Rambha, and others are Shri Krishna's maidservants. They are all specifically expert in decorating the house, cleaning, smearing cow dung, and bringing milk. Now the maidservants appointed in many different services. The Chaitya, Kurangi Bringari Sulamba, Chaitya Kurangi Bringari Sulamba Lambika Daya. Kurangi, Bringhari, Sulamba, Lambika, and others are Shri Krishna's maidservants, Chaiti. And now Krishna's spies, the Chara. Spies are very necessary in Krishna's pastimes. Chaturshcharana Dhiman Peshaladhyascharottama Charanti Gopa Gopishu Nanaveshena Ye Sada. Chatura, Charana, Dhiman, Peshala, and other servants are Shri Krishna's foremost spies, always wearing many types of disguises. They visit the Gopas, Gopis, and others in order to secretly accomplish Shri Krishna's tasks. Chatur means clever. It's charan. Dhiman. Does that mean like very intelligent? Peshala. Peshala means to grind or pound, right? Anyhow. So yeah, they always wear many types of disguises and they visit the Gopas and Gopis in order to secretly accomplish Shri Krishna's tasks. Okay, now we come to the messengers, the Duta. So these are, we already read about the messengers of Krishna, but those I guess were for the different yutas. Like it was in that context. And now these are Krishna's personal messengers. Duta Visharado Tunga Vavaduka Manorama Niti Saradya Kelo Niti Saradaya Kelo kalo gopi kuleshu cha. Tunga, Vavaduka, Manoram, Nittisar, and other servants are Shri Krishna's messengers. They are skilled in everything. They are experts in arranging amorous pastimes between Shri Krishna and the gopis and in pacifying loving quarrels. Their names are appropriate. Tunga means the efficient one. So Tunga is proficient in accomplishing tasks. Vavaduka, which means eloquent, he is most clever in speaking both appropriate and inappropriate words. He's also clever at speaking inappropriate words. Manoram, which means charming, he is capable of stealing anyone's mind. And Nittisara, knowing the essence of virtuousness, knows what is essential in regards to the divine couple. So those were Krishna's male messengers. Now Krishna's female messengers. Shri Krishnasya Duti Prakaranam. Those were the Dutas, and now here are the Dutis. Purnamasi Vira Brinda Vangshi Nandi Mukhi Tatha Brindarika Tatha Mela Murala Dyascha Dutika Nana Sandana Kushala Tayor Milana Karini Kunjadi Sanskriya Bhigya Vrindatasu Variyasi. Purnamasi, Vira, Vrinda, Vangshi, Nandimukhi, Brindarika, Mela, Murali, and others are the female messengers of Shri Krishna's party. All of them are experts in making inquiries in many different ways and in arranging meetings between Śrī Rādhā and Shri Krishna. They are also talented in decorating forest bowers and other meeting places. Among them, Vrinda is the most accomplished in all tasks. So first is a description of Purnamasi. Purnamasya anga akantis tapta kanchana sannibha shukla vastra paridhana bahuratna vibhushita. Purnamasi's bodily complexion is effulgent, like molten gold. She wears white clothes and is amply decorated by jewels. I always thought Purnamasi wore reddish clothes, like saffron clothes. Here it says she wears white clothes, so interesting. And I never realized that she was decorated with jewels. I always thought she's more like an aesthetic, like more simple like that, but interesting. She's decorated with jewels. Okay. Pita Surata Devascha Mata Chandra Kalasati Prabalastu Patistasya Mahavidya Yashaskari Bhratapi Devaprastascha Vrajasiddha Shiromani Nana Sandhana Kushala Dravya Sangamakarini. The father of Purnamasi is Suratadev, and her chaste mother's name is Chandrakala. Purnamasi's husband is Prabala, and her brother is Devaprasta. She herself is supremely learned, famous, and she is supremely learned, famous, and she is the perfected crown jewel of all yoginis of Rajmandal. Purnamasi is skilled in making inquiries and in arranging meetings between Śrī Rādhā and Shri Krishna. Now, Vira. Vira nama varaduti kyatanya pujita vraje Vira pragalba vachana vrinda chatukti peshala. Okay, so Vira's vachana, her words are pragalba, and Vrinda, her ukti, her speech is chatu peshala. Let's see what that means. So I like to guess what we're going to read before we do, then it sticks better. Vira is another prominent female messenger. She is worshipful and famous in Brajmandal. Vira is a fearless speaker, a pragalba vachana. Conversely, Vrinda is most clever in using sweet and charming words. She is Chattu Vachana. There's a footnote for Vrinda. What does it say? Although a separate description of Vrinda Devi will be given in verses 96 to 98 in the Laghu Bhaga, the quality of her nature is mentioned here in connection with the descriptions of Vira Devi's nature. Okay. Okay. Esha Shamala Kantischa Shukla Bhavasano Jvala Nanaratna Pushpamala Bhushanar Bhushita Picha. Vira's complexion is blackish blue, Shamala, but seems bright because she wears white clothes. She is decorated with many kinds of flower garlands and jeweled ornaments. Kavala patiretasya mata cha mohini sati tasya pita vishalopi bhagini kavala bhavet. Vira's husband is Kavala. Her mother Mohini is a virtuous wife. Vira's father Vishala and her sister's name. Vira's father is Vishala and her sister's name is Kavala. That must be confusing. The mother's name is Kavala and her sister's name is Kavala. Kavala. Okay. Jatilaya Priyatama Javatakya Purastita Nana Sandhana Nipuna Dvayor Milana Cheshtita. Vira, who lives in Javat, is very dear to Jatila. That must come in handy. You need to have somebody who's dear to Jatila to sure she's able to do all sorts of secret things. So Vira, who lives in Javat, is very dear to Jatila. She is most expert in making inquiries and is specifically devoted to arranging meetings between Śrī Rādhā and Śrī Krishna. I'm sure Jatila does not know about that. Vrindaya Vishesha. Tapta Kanchana. So Vira has she has a darkish, blackish blue complexion, and she wears white clothes. And then Vrinda, Tapta Kanchana Varnabha, Vrinda Kantir Manohara, Nila Vastra Paridhana, Mukta Pushpa Virajita. Vrinda's bodily complexion is attractive like molten gold. She wears blue garments and is decorated with pearls and flowers. Neela, she's drawing a picture of Vrinda Devi for the Gaudiya Giti Kucha right now. It's not completely finished, but it's getting close. There's the line drawing you can see. Where is it? Vrinda Devi. Vrinda Devi lines are unfinished. This is what she's done so far. See there, the parrot in her hand. Wonder if she should have more flowers on her, just from this description. All right, let's go back. So Vrinda's Chandrabhanu Pitas Tasya Pulara Janani Tata Patirasya Mahipalo Manjari Bhagini Chasa. Vrinda's father is Chandrabhanu, and her mother's name is Pulara. Hey, is Chandrabhanu a brother of Vrishabhanu? I think so. So that would make Vrinda actually a cousin of Srimati Radhika. Huh. So Vrinda's father is Chandrabhanu and her mother's name is Pulara. Her husband's name is Mahipala and his sister is Manjari. And that was a speculation. Maybe there are two Chandrabhanus. I don't know. But yeah, that's just what it seems like. Any commentary that I ever give when we're reading is just speculation. And I just say it because it gets me to think. Or, it makes things stick also. But yeah, never take anything I say as authoritative. Okay. Vrindavana sadavasa nana keli rasotsuka ubhayor malina kankshi tayo prema paripluta. Vrinda always resides in Vrindavan. She is eager to relish many kinds of ecstatic pastimes, as well as to arrange meetings between Śrī Rādhā and Śrī Krishna. She is always immersed in love for them. And now we come to Madhumangal's sister, Nandimukhi. And I think we'll end here after we read about Nandimukhi. Nandimukhi Gauravarna Pattavastra Vidharini Sandipani Pita Tasya Mata Cha Sumukhi Sati Bhrata Madhumangalosya Purnamasi Pitamahi Nanaratna Bhushitangi Kaishora Vayasojvala. Nandimukhi is fair complexioned. She wears silk clothes. Her father is Sandipani Muni, and her chaste mother's name is Sumukhi. Her brother's name is Madhumangal, and her paternal grandmother is Purnamasi. Nandimukhi is decorated with various jewels and she is in the prime of youth. So Nandimukhi, grandmother and granddaughter have a similar service of being messengers. Nana Sandhana Kushala, Nana Shilpa Vidhayini, Dvayormilana Naipunya Sada Prema Yuta Bhavet. Nandimukhi is skilled in making inquiries about various topics. She is talented in many kinds of fine arts and in arranging meetings between Śrī Rādhā and Śrī Krishna. She is always carried away by her love for both of them. And then next will be ordinary servants. So we'll read about the ordinary servants, and then after that, I think it's a description of Raj. Yeah, then we'll read about a description of the pastime places. So go through Vrindavan, Giriraj Govardhan, and all these places in Giriraj I never heard of before. Well, like there's Nila Mandapika and a cave called Manikandali, Govardhan. I wonder if those are still manifest or if they're now unmanifest. And Manasiganga's Paranga Ghat, all these details of places that I've never heard of. Pavan Sarovar. And then we'll read about the items that Śrī Krishna uses. Krishna's mirror is called Sharadindu. And his palm leaf fan is named Maru Maruta. His pastime lotus is called Sadasmera. And his ball is called Chitra Koraka. That's so cool. All of Krishna's items have names. Krishna's golden bow is called, anyways. Krishna's knife is called Tushtida. Wow, that's so interesting. Anyhow, we will continue our reading of Rādhā-Kṛṣṇa-gaṇoddeśa-dīpikā in 3 days from now, because tomorrow is Janmashtami, and then the day after that is Nandotsav and our Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's appearance day. So we will have special programs for those 2 days. I don't know what we'll do yet. Satya Mataji was suggesting reading from the Krishna book. I like that idea a lot. I also would like to know, get clear on the tattva of like why Krishna descended and how he descended, like all the details, all the commentaries of our acharyas. So I don't know. I'm not sure we could fit in both or do one or the other. I don't know. We'll and tomorrow, since there's no breakfast and nothing to do in the morning, I'm not going to put a time limit on the program. I'll have to have some time limit because I'll go over to Keshavji Gaudiya Math for Padmanabha Maharaj's program, his class, but it might be like a 3-hour program or something like that tomorrow. Yes. And then what was another thing? And then Śrīla Prabhupada's appearance day, of course. That, if anybody has any suggestions for Śrīla Prabhupada's appearance day, it'd be really nice to read glorifications of our acharyas of Śrīla Prabhupada, and then maybe we could read some memories. Maybe if Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji, Satya Mataji would like to speak something about Śrīla Prabhupada. Yeah, we're fortunate to have so many Prabhupada disciples join us. And Mahi Bharat Prabhu, if he's there. Yeah. All right. I'll end with a quick Mahamantra and Jai Dwani, and we'll end.
Wait. Oh, okay. I'll talk to after or something. I wanted to ask you a few things.
Okay.
Okay. I'll let you do kirtan then, or what do we do?
Sounds
okay.
Good. Yeah, I'll do it short. Kirtan and then after.
Okay. All right.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Saparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha-Kṛṣṇa Gopa Gopi Gana Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Jai Śrī Rādhā-Kṛṣṇa Gopa Gopi Gana Ki Jai, Shri Sarva Brajavasi Gana Ki Jai, Śrī Rādhā-Kṛṣṇa-gaṇoddeśa-dīpikā Ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Pad Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, the Adivastiti of Janmashtami Mahotsav Ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat pranams. Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Ananta Om Ji, Manjari Didi, Satya Mataji, Ashray Prabhu, Krishna Maya Didi, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, and on YouTube and Facebook, there is Raseshwari Mataji, Ganga Mataji, Rukmini Didi. Oh wait, and Rukmini Didi said, is it the 8 principal Priya Narmasakas who have kunjas around Shamakund? I think so. Well, I think so, but actually I'd have to double check that. I don't know, actually. It's in the Brajmana Parikrama book. I could easily look for that. I'll check that, and then I could write in our chat, in our group chat. And Hare Krishna. I don't know how to say your name, but pranams. Oh, and then sorry, I haven't been looking at all the comments. Maybe there's some varieties of preparing tambul. Yeah, I wonder if there are different servants who are expert at preparing. They have the specialities of which kind of tambul they make. Yeah. All right. Oh, and she says, Rukmini Devi says that she thinks Chandrabhanu is the father of Chandravali. Huh. Interesting. So maybe there are different Chandrabhanus, or maybe Chandravali and Vrinda Devi are sisters? I don't know. That would be very interesting. Yeah, I have no idea, but that's interesting.
In one of the stories, isn't it that she's dropped too, with Chandravali's dropped somewhere, and Radharani's dropped, in the lake and then Sarovar? I think it was.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. There's some story about them being brought by being kidnapped. They were sisters.
And then
from the Himalayas.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes.
And she drops both of them, and then they become cousins, but actually they're sisters.
Oh, hey, I didn't know that detail, Dalila. Wow, amazing.
Yeah. Sudevi and
Kishore
Mohan actually told us a story right at the Sarovar, where the little
where they were supposedly dropped.
they were dropped or they're found. So then there is another kalpa that could happen that he finds her in the lotus, and then there
are different stories of how they appear, but
they're all good and authentic.
In that one, they're sisters. They're the daughter of a mountain, and they get kidnapped by a putana, which means witch.
Yeah, Kishori was telling us. So on suggestions, we had Bhadrini wrote a song that's really beautiful about Krishna's appearance date, and so if you want, and at any time we can do that.
Great, yeah, that'd be lovely.
Right, and then we have for Prabhupada too.
Oh yeah,
okay.
So we can.
We have a lot to say about Prabhupada. We can't want us to say anything.
Well, we have to make it size. Everybody has.
I know everybody.
We have Mahivart.
I think I'll have to give just so that I'll have to give everybody time limits just so that we, because I also will need to leave for Padmanabha Maharaj's program. He's going to be doing a special for the Prabhupada.
Would he be zooming it, or do you know, or you can
all of his classes are
I thought
private class,
okay. And then going back into the text that you were reading, super interesting. There's so much in there. But there was one that's a complexion, and you went over it, but it was a complexion of a particular flower. I think it starts with MU something, Murati or some flower. That's not very important. So we were wondering about the flower, because usually you would stop and say, "Oh, let's check it out. Let's see what it looks like." So he's down.
But Marie's thinking maybe we're going to unsubscribe since everything you say is unauthoritative.
No, he said, don't believe anything I say. How can you be wrong? Oh, another thing, just one thing added on. To me, was surprised too. I just thought of Purnamasi as a yogini, renounced and that. I was Christ got drools. But then I remember the story of Lord Nityananda. He has drools all over. And those are just symptoms of ecstatic emotion. So I think that we cannot just call them, they look like drools, they look like bracelet, but they're actually prem decorations, isn't it?
Actually, we're going to be including this song in the Gaudiya Giti Gucha.
Great.
It's the second to the last chapter, I think, of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Was it the second to the last? It's one of the last chapters of Chaitanya Bhagavat. That amazing chapter where Nityananda Prabhu goes to Gadadhar Pandit's and it talks all about the relationship between Gadadhar Pandit and Nityananda Prabhu. So just before that, Mahaprabhu glorifies Nityananda. And that whole glorification of Nityananda from Mahaprabhu, we're including that in the Gaudiya Giti Gucha. It's in the Bengali Gaudiya Giti Gucha.
Great.
And so, but in that description, he talks about how the ornaments of Nityananda Prabhu represent the nine limbs of bhakti.
Right.
I had one thing that maybe you don't know, because it's from the Bhavana. What is it? The Bhavana Sagara. No, the Bhavana Sagara by Pada Krishna Das. Anyway,
it's a very famous, recognized saint.
In the ISKCON devotees translation, it says that Krishna's carrying a red ball of kumkum in his hand to play holy. But Achyutalal Bhatta said, no, Krishna's carrying a red ball. And you just read the name of the ball.
The ball and his
but
toys.
Then you also read that one of the devotees carries the kumkum powder for him. So that just made me think of that, whether in that instance he was carrying a ball to play with, or he actually was carrying kumkum for holy. I'll have to go there.
So many details.
So many details. It's wonderful. That was the dream come true for me, because since I was a kid, I would ask my mom, okay, God is there as a person, what is he doing, Mom? And this is like way over the, I mean, I got it like big time, you know.
Well, Gurudev told me one time, I kept asking him, it was my birthday, and I kept going in and saying, oh, it's my birthday, and he'd give me blessings. And then I'd say, it's my daughter's birthday, and he'd give her blessing. It's my nephew's birthday. And then he said I should have love for Krishna like the gopis. And I said, what about Radha Dasam? He says, okay, but not for the others, you know, the other people who shared the same birthday. Then I walked back in the room and he goes, you cannot have Radha Dasam. What's the names of your children? And I rattled off the names of my children. He goes, what's the name of the Priyanarma Sakas? And I didn't know them. What's the name of the Priyanarma Sakis? And I didn't know them. What's the name of the Priyanarma Manjaris? And I didn't know them. And then he goes, like that. So these classes are perfect because he wants me to know all the names of Radha and Krishna's associates, just like the way I know my children's names and tastes. And
wow.
Beautiful.
I'm feeling close to do this again, and like next time we go through it, we should actually, like, maybe we could have trivia at the end and like try to memorize and then try to test each other to see if we can memorize all the names. And
I know we should know all our family members' names. I mean, that's very important. Actually, Prabhupada in Mexico City taught us that what he said, what if when we attend perfection, Prabhupada, what happens? He said, well, you go to a universe where there's planet Earth, and then you go to Vrindavan in there, and you take birth within Braja, connected to the family of Krishna. So you'll be in his family. Wow, I love that one.
Beautiful, beautiful.
A little thing, I can't remember the name of the book. It was given to me 30 years ago. There was a little booklet, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and the Appearance Day of Sri Krishna, viewed from the point of view of the Brajavasis, instead of like, the Srimad Bhagavatam's a little more more, I don't know, how would you say, more in the opulent side of things, and more Dwarka view of things, or Mathura Desh view of things, but or the devotees that followed him. But this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur telling the story of how Krishna, I think he even mentions the umbilical cord. I mean, the gopis are like, it's a small booklet.
Umbilical cord cutting ceremony.
Yeah, they have all that ceremony done and like that. So very intimate.
I never heard of that book, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Oh, it's too bad. I can't.
If you find out about it, then send me a message.
I have a collection of books, and I mean, I will have to read for the next 2 lifetimes.
But in Jiva Goswami's book, he says there was no umbilical cord. But in this book, they have an umbilical cord cutting ceremony.
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, that's whenever there's differences in Leelas, we know Krishna's pastimes happen in unlimited different ways. Like in this manifest planet, and it's constantly going on in this universe and and every time it's happening in a bit of a different way. So that's never, there's never reason to be, that
might just show that her complexion, different color, changes from golden to blue, dark. But you remember the story when Krishna is crying because his friends told him that he was adopted?
Yes. Yes.
You don't even have the color of your mom. So okay, I should let you go. Sorry. Here we are. Haribol, Prabhu. Thank you. Pranams to all of you, Prabhus, and Madhukar, thank you so much for your very engaging readings. And
thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Pranams.
Dandavat pranams, everybody. See you all tomorrow for Janmashtami. All right, Hare Krishna. Is there anything else anybody wants to mention before we finish? Okay, great. Jai Śrī Rādhā.
Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.